Hey everyone, I wanted to talk about 5 things that we do post-vacation. We just got home about 2-3 hours ago from our weekend stay in Townsend, and I wanted to talk about 5, I think we've done this before, 5 post-camping. This is more like 5 post-hotel stay, resort stay, those kinds of vacation getaways, of stays where you're not camping. So 5 post-vacation, we'll just label it 5. We'll just call it 5 post-vacation must-dos. Number 1 is to empty the car out. I've got a couple more things to finish cleaning out. I know like most people usually unload their suitcases right away and all of that, but I like to go back through and check and make sure everything's out, because number 1, I don't want like trash from road trips of like food wrappers and things sneaking up my car. I want to make sure all the cold food gets brought in, because even with just like a motel stay, we brought our own coffee creamer for in room, things like that. So I want to go ahead and look through, like I've got paperwork up there I need to look at and see if there's where I can go and do things to take care of post stay. But I go through, make sure everything is in. Madeline's still got a jacket back there and there's one little bag of trash. So I'm going to finish that out, and then I'll take you back inside for 2 and 3. Number 2 is immediately unpacking all the suitcases and repacking them. You can see this is one of the travel bags that we brought, and we've already started repacking it with the empty toiletry bags. I have a toiletry bag that I keep all the toiletry items stored in, and that we use for trips like camping and places where I don't take my nice rolling suitcases. I already have this one repacked with all of our packing cubes and things like that. So now I'm going to try to bundle all these up, because once all of these are bundled up together, they fit into 2 suitcases together and go back into our suitcase storage. Number 3 is, as I'm unpacking the toiletries bag, I make a list of things to replace. Due to current circumstances, we ended up tossing our wooden toothbrushes after using them, and because we're not going to be able to travel again for several months and we don't need to replace our toothbrush right now, so we did toss them. I hate doing that, but because of that, we are going to have to replace them. We also used up most of the mouthwash. We finished off the face wash and wipes. We didn't have a lot of it. And then I also usually keep a separate deodorant just in the travel bag so that I never forget it. Matt already has an extra one in there. So I put the date on here for when I started making this list, and then I make a list of what I need to replace. That way, slowly, in between trips, like one trip one trip to the grocery store, Walmart, or whatever, I can just pick up one item on here. The next time I go, I can pick another item up on here until we're ready to go back to our next trip. Number 4, I always strip my bed as soon as I come home. I usually have a house sitter that stays in here. We have a dog, so we always have to have a dog sitter when we're staying anywhere overnight. So I usually strip the bed off. I put the extra sheets on as soon as I come home. I make sure before I leave that the second set of sheets is clean. I keep them in the zipper bag that our Nectar mattress cover came in, inside of our cedar chest. Keeps it all separated, clean, ready to put on. I actually had this blanket that I had washed before we left that I sometimes keep on the bed as just an extra blanket whenever it's a little bit cooler sometimes. So that was already in the dryer and ready to go. I also sometimes rewash the pillows after trips, but because the sheets are already done, now my comforter is already in, or my quilt is already in the dryer. So then as soon as it's done, it'll be ready. Then all I have left is pillows. If I get home super late, I won't worry as much about the pillows, just make sure the pillow cases are washed. But this allows us to have a clean bed to come home to, change out the bedding super quick, 5-10 minutes to get sheets on the bed. And once the comforter comes out, another 5 minutes, just change it over, getting it look real nice. And it gives us a clean bed to crawl into as soon as we arrive home. Number 5 is a food one, but I'm filming it in here because the girls are decompressing after vacation. I have a video about that as well. I think I did it after a Dollywood video, I don't remember. But I have a video about helping kids decompress after vacations. They're decompressing with watching one show. They've already gotten into some of the toys and things and just need a few minutes to just sit. So I'm gonna film the food one in here. But number 5 is immediately after a trip also, put away any food that you had from the road trip. Because we had a cabin stay and because we're still trying to adjust to current circumstances, we brought most of our food with us except for dinners. So we still have a lot of food to put away. What we also do though is once we're done putting the food away, we start making an inventory list of the food that we have and plan meals out according to what we have on hand. Before the trip, I had bought some quick, easy meals to make after the trip, and then we usually try to plan on having a dinner that is already ready to heat up either in the microwave or we plan on picking food up. This time we had opted for picking food up because it was in our budget to do that. So we picked food up for dinner. So the only thing I needed was something for tomorrow morning. So I still have oatmeal from the trip. So that's something that we could add into it. We could say that we want to do oatmeal. We also were never able to do the s'mores because we weren't able to use the fire pit. So that's something I can put into account is, oh hey, now we can finish off this s'more stuff. Let's plan a s'mores party. We also have several bags of chips, so we could, you know, look into getting hot dogs to go with the rest of the chips. Basically, that's how the whole process works. And then, like I said, you know, we've got nuts here. Just go through what we have. Try to make sure stuff gets finished off that wants finished off. Throw away stuff that just may not be, you know, sometimes chips get stale after being left out for so long. Just go through it, figure all that out, and figure out what you want to do with what's left. So that is our 5 post-vacation tips for this kind of vacation where you're either staying in a motel, hotel, resort, things like that. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for following us along through our vacation. The link to that will be up in the cards above to the playlist from our Townsend weekend vacation. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.